Hi guys, welcome to another episode of The Crystal Goddess. I'm actually going to do a talk about pearls today because I was very lucky to be invited to watch a bit of a conference between some of the big wigs when it comes to the pearl industries, especially South Sea pearls, Tahitian pearls, more of those side, the sort of saltwater pearls rather than the freshwater pearls, which was really quite an eye-opener really. So recently I've been doing a course which is going to help me to become a pearl expert, so this was something I was very interested in viewing, and I hadn't considered certain things. So when you're mining, I'll get to it in a second, there is a point to this. So when you're mining, there is a certain level of sustainability. Now, mining is not going to be a fully sustainable thing really, is it? Because there are only so many gemstones in the ground. There's only so much emerald. That's why Cleopatra's mines were depleted. There's only so much diamond in the ground, which is why the Golconda mines were depleted. There's only certain amounts of gemstones in the locations. So there's only going to be so much mining that can ever take place. On top of that, you're taking away the topsoil. So you're damaging the environment around it. You're digging into the earth and extracting from it. So it's not a very healthy or sustainable thing to do, but it is changing quite massively, and over the years it has really come leaps and bounds, because a lot of companies now are making sure that the mines are being put back in the condition that they were originally, filling them in, putting the land back to how it was as well, with the replanting things. So it's really moving forward, but there is only ever going to be a certain amount of ore, of gemstones, of minerals that can be extracted from the ground. Now you look at a pearl in comparison to that and you think a pearl is created by a living organism. That's either a mussel or an oyster. So you've got your freshwater and you've got your seawater, your saltwater. So if that mollusk, I'm going to say mollusk as a term rather than pinpointing between the mussel and the oyster, but as long as that mollusk is happy and kept content for the amount of time that is needed for the pearls to be formed, they can actually create several pearls in one go. In some cases, they can have several stints of creating it as well. They can have 1, 2, or sometimes even 3 seasons to produce the pearls, and a season can take up to about 2 years. So it is actually quite sustainable. You can keep getting pearls even from the same mollusk in some instances. So as long as you've got a supply of healthy and happy mollusks, and as long as you've got a supply of what will make them happy, which is seawater or freshwater in some cases, they are filter feeders. So they don't need a lot. They need to have nice temperature, they need to have clean water, really clean water, and they will filter out the nutrients that they need to get. This is where the issue lies. So yes, pearls can be sustainable because it is doable. But what's happening with the sea at the moment? What's been happening with the sea for a long time? We are pumping stuff into the sea. We are dropping waste and litter into the sea. I mean, there's huge movements right now to clean up the sea, and the amount of microscopic and tiny bits of plastic that are in there, yeah, that's going to have an effect on your pearls. In fact, it's going to have an effect on the mollusks, and that will then have an effect on creating these pearls. So it was really nice to see that the big wigs of the pearl farming actually really want to push towards getting the oceans cleaned up, and to actually make sure that the environment is safe for both, well, for us and also for the mollusks as well. So pollution is a factor. Can it be sustainable? Provided we can clean up the oceans and we can stop polluting the way we are, then yeah, it could potentially be sustainable. The second thing is, Mother Nature doesn't always help these things. So with South Sea pearls or with Tahitian pearls, that kind of area, the French Polynesia area, a lot of the pearl farms are actually situated in something called an atoll. Now an atoll is the remnants of a volcano. It's That's all I can describe it as. It's like little ripples in the ground, little areas where the volcano used to be. And that actually creates a protective barrier around the pearl farms themselves. And why do we need this protective barrier? Well, because of Mother Nature. If she gets angry, I mean, that's going to have a big effect. So if you have a tsunami, for example, a lot of pearl farms were wiped out because of tsunamis. I can't remember when the most recent one was, but there's big effects. Tsunamis have an effect, tornadoes can have an effect, because it will whip up the ocean, and that can really upset the whole environment, really. It's quite a damaging thing to people above the ground and to those under the sea as well. And then I can understand that. So there's a lot of places that are really looking to protect the pearl farms, which is brilliant, and it needs to be done, particularly because they are so sensitive to any kind of change that can go on. And the other thing is, and I didn't even consider this, but COVID. No, oysters and mussels don't get COVID. Don't worry about that. But what about the people looking after the mussels and the oysters? I never considered the fact that if you're going out to an atoll, it is literally in the middle of nowhere. You have to get to it by boat. You've got no civilization around you. They're relying on people bringing them fresh water, and they're relying on people bringing them fresh food. And what happens when a country goes into lockdown? It's a huge thing, and it's had a quite massive impact on the pearl farms themselves. They've had to make decisions where their staff are going out to the farms for a prolonged period of time, so they're going to be away from their families. They've made those choices because it's their work and they want to be able to provide for their families, so they're going to go out there. So all of these little factors come to play. COVID right now is affecting pearl farming because of lots of different reasons. If you can't get the pearls out of the country, you can't sell the pearls. If you can't get the pearls to, a lot of them are auctioned off, if you can't get them to the auction houses, and people aren't coming to the auction houses, you can't sell the pearls. So it's one of those things, and it's a shame because it can take up to 2 years for a pearl to form. So we might well really struggle to get them in the future. Who knows? Pearl farming is going on. It is still continuing even with COVID going on, but we do have to think about the fact that they are sustainable provided we look after the oceans, provided we still have a love for pearls as well. And I think society's love of pearls has increased constantly throughout history, really, hasn't it? There have been moments where it's gone a little bit quiet, but actually with the innovations that are coming out with the creation of pearls now, and when I say the creation of pearls, I'm talking about pearls being formed and farmed rather than man-made events. So the actual creation of pearls, they're coming in all shapes and sizes. You've got biwa pearls, you've got these beautiful, we've got the nucleated pearls as well. So this is one of the larger keshi pearls, which are the metallic luster, and that's it. Metallic luster is coming into play a lot more these days as well. We're managing to find pearls that create this incredible metallic luster, and that is not a treatment, by the way. That metallic luster forms naturally, which is so beautiful. And then you've still got rice pearls. This one has been dyed. You've got your rice pearls dyed in a beautiful pink, and then you've got, this is one of the necklaces that I made. I really love this one for some reason. But yeah, this is one of my necklaces that I made. But you've got all different shapes and sizes. So once upon a time it might have been seen as something your grandma might have worn. These days there's a whole movement towards pearls, and there's a whole passion for them. And with them being a potentially sustainable gem in the world today, that's a really important thing. So provided COVID doesn't mess it up, I think they've actually, from what they were saying, the farmers have got it under control and we won't have a problem with getting pearls. But it is one of those things that you never even considered. Yeah, actually, they're in the middle of nowhere. What happens when things go into lockdown? So if you love your pearls, make sure you keep an eye out for all the different varieties, whether it's your nucleated pearls, whether it's your shell pearls, your cashew pearls, your biwa pearls, whatever they are out there, they are beautiful, and they can potentially be a really great, can't say it to start with, can't say it to end with. They can be a really great sustainable gem for the future. So keep your eyes peeled. There's lots and lots of amazing companies who are focusing purely on pearls, and I'm sure you'd love to every moment to just get a look out and see. So that's my talk today for you on pearls and sustainability. If you have any requests on what kind of video, do you know what, I think I'm going to give up today. If you have any requests on any videos you might want to see, please do pop them in the box. I am making a list of them, and I am trying to find my way to get through all of them as I can. It's just things like this pop up when I get invited to something really exciting like that. So thank you for watching. Hopefully it's been informative, hopefully you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you next time on the next episode of The Crystal Goddess. Love to all.